A lot of people are wondering about my love life, and I guess that's not a shock. I thought I would drink a little bit.
That's like a no compromise zone for me.
I feel like a lot of my decisions in life are made from the perspective of fear.
Okay, well, I'm taking it back. As a guy, I feel like I shouldn't like it as much as I do, and I find myself sitting at home alone on my couch.
This is cheers to all of you. Thank you very much. Hi all, it's Cameron and Simba, and the channel has now reached 10,000 followers. Yay! He doesn't seem as excited as I am. He is very interested in these ears that are on my head. The ears looked a lot like Simba's ears, and they even move kind of like his. So I thought it would be the perfect occasion to whip them out. Simba is just going to have to wait over to the side. I cannot get him to focus right now. But yes, the channel has reached 10,000 followers, and it is so crazy to think that 10,000 of you are willing to follow what I'm putting out there. I thought I would drink a little bit. It is noon. It is just after noon here. This is 6 grapes. It's port wine. It's a fortified wine from the country of Portugal. They were giving samples of it at Costco for free, and I just thought that was the craziest thing, because in the US, I don't think you can give out alcohol like that. I think it might be illegal to give out free alcohol. It wasn't just like wine, it was also like whiskey and tequila and other hard alcohol. Simba, I also bought him this dog wine. Don't worry, there's no actual alcohol in it. It's all fruit and vegetable juice from what I can tell. He, however, did not take a liking to it. I tried to give him a little bit right before filming to see if he would drink it on camera, and he would not. So good on you, Simba, for not needing wine to celebrate an occasion. This is cheers to Simba. This is cheers to all of you. Thank you very much. That is nice to drink during the day. It's a Monday and I'm not working, so I guess it's okay to start drinking from noon, right? Right? I asked you on YouTube and Instagram, what are some things that you would like to know about me? And I will now take the time to answer your question. A lot of people are wondering about my love life, and I guess that's not a shock. I don't really share a lot about it because it's not really the type of content that I want to put out there. I can tell you right now that
So, wonderful news. I actually recorded my 10,000 followers video. Lo and behold, shortly after I started, my focus went out on my camera for some reason, and then it never returned. I'll just go out and say it right now. My love life is non-existent. I'm not dating anyone. I'm not actively trying to date anyone. Like, I guess I understand why people are interested in that type of stuff, especially here in Korea. It's kind of a cultural thing. But I've never been interested in romance as much as I think other people are. I think some people, when they're not in a relationship, they get so lonely that they just want anybody. Please, just, I don't want to be alone. And I would rather have no companionship than bad companionship. And I don't necessarily need to get married. I've never had a future vision of myself where I have to get married. And I get a lot of advice from people saying, oh, you'll regret it one day. When you're older, you'll wish that you had somebody. And I mean, possibly yes, but I also know a ton of people who say that they regret getting married, who say that they regret having children. It's not like marriage leads to happiness. It's not that children lead to happiness. Good families, yes, can lead to happiness, but that's a roll of the dice that I'm okay with not taking if I don't have a little bit more certainty. And I definitely don't want children. If someone that I'm dating does want children, I'm sorry, that's like a no compromise zone for me. A lot of people who do get married, that is one of the reasons that they get married, is because they also want children. And if that's the case, see you later. I don't think any couple should compromise with that. If one person doesn't want children, then you two should not have children together. We are now at EBS because I'm here for my show Power English that I do with Kristen Cho. I have kind of sneak. What is the past tense of sneak? Whatever the case, I secretly entered this recording studio that no one was in to record this part of the video. And one of the questions someone asked is, what's my dream? To be honest, I don't think I've ever in my life had a fully fleshed out, very crystal clear dream. So I think my main dream right now would just be financially independent. Not necessarily retire early. It's not that I want to be lazy and not do anything at all, but I feel like a lot of my decisions in life are made from the perspective of fear. Fear that I'm not going to have enough money, either currently or in the future. And I'd like to just get money out of the equation of all the decisions that I make. I don't necessarily care about living a very rich life. I wouldn't say no to it if that somehow came to me all of a sudden, but I would just like to live a normal life minus the worries of money that I feel almost everyone has. That would be my dream. Simba girl. Okay. All right, I'm here with Kristen Cho. We are about 30 minutes away from doing our live show, evening special. We had a lot of questions about something in particular we said on our show. We talk about stationery way too much.
Well, we love pencils and we love paper and cards.
And we recently talked about some pens that you bought me as a gift.
Yeah.
Not because it was my birthday, not because it was anything.
It's just because I love him.
And we can't say it on the show. We're not allowed to say brand names on the show.
We can't.
But these are the ones.
Yeah, it's called Sarasa.
Yeah, Sarasa. The thing is they're vintage colors.
They're not bright colors. They're all very sort of, what do we call that? Like
muted tones?
Muted tones? Yeah, that's good. It all started when Cameron opened his pencil case and out came like all of these pens, and then I noticed one and I'm like, oh, you like those too? I like those too. And so I had to get myself a set, and then I had to get Cameron a set, and we have been so happy.
It's the small things that make you so happy, right?
I carry
She has
these.
hers, I have mine. I also wanted to share just a little bit. This is just Penco. It's just a composition notebook, but I just love the design of it.
Oh, I like the inside.
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of old school. Yeah.
I just like the font on the front. It's very anyway.
Nice. Okay.
These are Korean pencils that I also got. The reason I like them.
Oh, they're pencils.
Yeah, they're pencils.
Oh, you actually use pencils?
You can smell the cedar wood in them.
Oh, it's cedar wood.
Right?
Oh my goodness.
Like, do you want some of these? Do you use pencils ever?
I don't use pencils.
Oh, okay,
actually.
then I'm taking it back.
Okay.
They're called Tajon
Tajon.
by Munhwa, I think is the one it is. Munhwa.
Yeah.
These are my favorite pencils. But since we were talking about colors,
colors.
what is my favorite color?
Okay, what is your favorite color?
Green.
Oh,
but
green.
just like not any green, like green.
But what
so
kind of green?
I like darker greens
Okay.
and usually cooler greens.
What do you mean by cooler green?
So not on the yellow end of the spectrum. Not like lime green.
Yeah.
Or what other type? Like chartreuse. I like the colder, like this
Forest
color,
green,
like
or
a forest green,
emerald green,
viridian.
Oh, it's very verdant.
Right, it's very verdant. Or even celadon.
Isn't that kind of the color of some of the pottery in Korean history?
Yes.
Yeah,
it's the chongja.
That's right, and that color is a very special color.
Isn't it? I love it so much.
It's beautiful.
What is your favorite color?
Okay, so my favorite color is orange. I don't have any orange.
That's not
I know, it's
common.
Weird. It's weird.
Like all oranges? Like
I don't-
safety cone orange?
But not like a brown orange.
Not a brown. Not like hitchy taxi orange?
That's a little too brown.
That's a little too brown.
I like it a little bit brighter. Yeah.
Like a clementine or a
Yeah, that's right. Like the Kyul orange. I do like that kind of orange. Yeah.
like a mandarin orange.
Like a mandarin orange.
I think now we have
gotta-
about 20 minutes until the
they
live
want
show
us to
starts.
practice singing.
We're gonna have to practice our song.
노래 연습해야 된대요.
Okay, well thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm so happy to be here.
Listen to us on Power English
Yes,
or
English.
evening special every Friday.
But
Yeah.
we gotta go.
We gotta go.
Okay,
We gotta
come
work.
on,
Yeah.
come on. Bye.
Okay, I'll take your mic. Hey, buddy. Okay. So I had originally planned to film this section outside with Simba while he and I were on his walk. However, it was so much colder than it was yesterday, so I didn't think I was going to survive. But one of your questions was about, was there any episode with Simba that I particularly remember? The one that pops up in my mind is right when I just started watching him, there was a typhoon that came to Korea. So it was, I guess, late summer. And Simba is the type of dog, he only goes to the bathroom outside. And he's very particular with where he goes to the bathroom outside, especially when he's going at number 2. During the typhoon, he could not find a place that he particularly liked. And the typhoon lasted for like a day and a half. I had puppy pads and I'd put them in the bathroom hoping that maybe he would use it, and he just never did. I think me and this little guy stayed outside for like an hour in the middle of a typhoon, and I was just waiting for him to go. He was miserable, I was miserable. He ended up not doing his business, and I think he went like 2 days without doing number 2. He's a very sensitive dog, so things like that, things like eating, he doesn't like loud noises to be going on in the house while he's eating, otherwise he will get distracted and walk away from his food bowl no matter how hungry he is. So those type of things are the biggest struggle with Simba, but they are also something that make him very, very cute. So it is Saturday. It is the first day of the Lunar New Year here in 2023. And because I don't have family here in Korea, I'm just here alone with Simba, this cute little boy, which is great. I love how quiet it gets. A lot of you asked for recommendations on things like books and movies and music. In my book recommendation video that I did, I already told y'all that this is my favorite book ever, The Good Earth by Pearl S. Buck. She has written about Korea before, and she even has a museum in Bucheon about her life. I think I actually want to go visit it sometime, maybe when the weather warms up a little bit. This next book, I'm a little embarrassed. As a guy, I feel like I shouldn't like it as much as I do, but it is L.M. Montgomery's Anne of Green Gables. This is a book I didn't read until 3 years ago. I'd heard about it, obviously. It's about 8-year-old orphan who lives on Prince Edward Island in Canada at the end of the 1800s, and just her life in the countryside. I've read it a few times now, and every time I cry. It is such a good, heartwarming book in the beginning, and then it ends with such a great cry. However, I would say that the language in the book is a little bit dated, and the character, she's very precocious, so she uses a lot of big words. I don't actually think that people who are wanting to learn English should use this as a textbook, because you would come out sounding probably a little strange to modern English ears. However, a book that I would recommend for people who are trying to learn English is Lois Lowry's The Giver, and this is the Korean version. It's a little bit sci-fi. It's about a dystopia disguised as a utopia. The society is so bland that they can't even see color, but there is one boy who's chosen to remember everything from history so that the society doesn't go completely awry, and it's kind of an awakening for him about how good and bad humanity is, and how good and bad it is supposed to feel if you're going to live and honestly be human. It's kind of a middle grade book. It's for middle school students, but I think as an adult, it's a great read. And I would recommend it to anyone who wants to learn English by reading a book, but doesn't want a children's book. They want something with a little bit of a deeper message. As far as movies, I don't watch a lot of movies, so I can't really recommend any to you. Netflix shows, I just finished watching season 2 of The Crown, and so far it's been absolutely amazing. Otherwise, I just watch a lot of nonsense shows. It's all just like very funny comedy stuff, but it's nothing that I would recommend. Some of you asked about music because I always seem to be like singing or humming things in the shows that I do. And to be honest, I'm not a music person. I don't listen to music on a daily basis. Even when I'm working out, I don't often listen to music. If I'm gonna listen to a song, I'm probably going to listen to a ballad of some sort. There is this one Portuguese artist. Her name is Marisa. About 4 years ago now, I went to Portugal on vacation, not really thinking much of it. It was just like a very cheap flight to Europe. I went, absolutely loved it. They have this music art form called fado, which is this sad ballad. And there is this one artist, her name is Marisa. I think she's kind of more like a modern fado, like a crossover. It seems to have some modern musical elements mixed in with it, but she has this one performance on YouTube where she's in front of the Belém Tower, which is something I visited while I was in Portugal. And there's one song in particular, it's called O Gento da Minha Terra, I think is how you pronounce it. I do not have great Portuguese pronunciation. I don't even really speak Portuguese at all, like at all. I know that the title means something like the people of my country. I don't speak Portuguese, and I don't even really know what the lyrics are, but her performance of that song in front of people you can tell absolutely love her, and just the gushing emotion that is pouring out from everybody, honestly, it gets me every time. And I think that is just a testament of how beautiful some music can be, that even if you don't understand the culture, even if you don't understand the language, you can still cause these types of emotions in people. I think that many Koreans would honestly love fado, so I will put a little link up here that goes directly to that performance because it is overwhelming, and I find myself sitting at home alone on my couch, having a drink, and just watching her sing and just being sad and crying. Yeah. Someone asked about my top 5 favorite foods in Korea. Goodness, 5, that's a lot to choose. Probably 보쌈, almost any type of food that has 묵은지 in it. 김치찌개, 찌찜, 볶음밥, or put it in 전, 들깨 오리탕, like 닭갈비, carbonara 떡볶이. Sometimes, after a night of drinking the next day, I like to order a lot of food, and I like to order from School Food, which is a restaurant here in Korea, and I like to get carbonara 떡볶이 with 돈가스 and then 날치알 kimbap. It is a lot of food. I cannot eat it all in one sitting, so it usually becomes 2 meals. Some of you asked how long I plan on living in Korea, and my answer is as long as I have a visa and as long as I have work. I enjoy my life here, and I want to stay. Another person asked what I do in my free time. This guy takes up a lot of my free time. I walk him twice a day. I try to play with him and train him a little bit to do different tricks. Of course, I am filming videos and editing videos, which right now is just a hobby, but it takes up a lot of time. I do watch some videos on YouTube. I do watch a little bit of Netflix, and I've been doing a lot of things around the house, like cleaning, especially cleaning and cooking. I study a little bit. I don't study as much as I used to. I don't spend a lot of time studying anymore. I don't study a ton of Korean. I don't study a lot of Japanese. I don't study much of anything. I am enjoying the languages and the knowledge I've gained from studying. But for right now, it is not as big a part of my life as it once was, and I'm fine with that. And I don't feel guilty about it anymore. I used to. Lastly, I had some questions about what are my plans for 2023, and it looks like I'm going to have to spend a lot of time just working in 2023, which is always a good problem to have in this industry where work can disappear all of a sudden and you're left high and dry. But because of that, I think all of my other goals for 2023 I've either given up on or come to terms with. I thought I was going to be able to do more exercise and dieting and all that type of stuff, do more studying, and I've kind of decided that I'm not going to make those types of goals this year. The only goal that I am going to make is to try and do this YouTube more, because it is something completely under my control. I really enjoy it. And there has been definitely a great reception from all of you on the things that I've put up, but it is very enjoyable not only to hear from you and get support from you, but just to have something that is put out into the world that is mine, how I want it. And so other than a little bit of YouTube goals and all the work stuff that I have to do, all the rest of my life for 2023, I'm aiming to live a smaller life. I don't think I'm at a place mentally where I can do all the work I need to do while also having a huge social life, while having huge aspirations as far as diet and study. So I just want to be smaller in scale with everything where I can, focus on my house, focus on Simba, focus on just a few close friends, and my overall mental well-being is, those are kind of my big goals for 2023. So this video is getting far too long, so I will end it here, but thank you once again for the 10,000 subscriptions. Simba and I are over the moon. Simba is really distracted by some toys, so I think I'm gonna have to go play with him. But thank you once again for all the support, and I will see you all again soon. Goodbye. Say bye-bye. Mwah. 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 Okay. 가도 돼.